Raptor fans, my first question to all of you is how the heck you doing? Because some people not watching preseason stuff, and I understand that. Regular season basketball for the Toronto Raptors gets going tomorrow night at Scotiabank Arena, 7:30 tip-off there against the Washington Wizards. And there's a lot of things I want to talk about here, but this is not a video about me. This is not a video about me talking about my feelings and this and that. It's about me firing just bullet points right at you guys, and for you guys go nuts in the comments, all right? First things first, though. Guys, follow up Instagram, follow up Twitter. This is going to be a very interesting year for the Toronto Raptors, and I'm going to try and go live on Instagram quite a bit, and I'm going to try and tweet a lot more. So go check out the links in the description. Twitter and Instagram are down below, and if you can't click the links for some reason, Tio Sports Talk, Instagram, Twitter, go check it out, guys, all right? Here we go. Let's talk about the players that are here and who are playing tomorrow, the players who are injured and not in the lineup for tomorrow, and the guys who got waived. Freddie Gillespie, unfortunately, got waived by the Toronto Raptors. He was a beloved Raptor for about, a couple months or so. Great guy to watch on TV and the entertainment factor. He was great, and he was an all-over-the-place player on the court, for sure. Offensive game, not so much. So he gets waived by the Toronto Raptors. Reggie Perry also gets waived by the Toronto Raptors. And unfortunately, wish all the fellas good luck. But Pascal Siakam, Chris Boucher are the other guys who are not going to be playing for the Toronto Raptors, but they didn't get waived, obviously. They're going to be injured. We all know that both those guys will be out for at least a little bit here. But obviously, Boucher will be back sooner than Pascal. But, they're going to be out a little bit of time for the Toronto Raptors. With that being said, and who else not playing for the Toronto Raptors? That man. And it's to be the first time in a long time Raptor fans have not seen Kyle Lowry in a Raptors uniform. And Fred Vanvleet's taking the reins as the court general. I mean, it was something that was inevitable. We saw it coming a mile away when he was in the G League, when he was, I believe, on the bench mob. Came in that series against Milwaukee and did his thing. Was great against Golden State. The next 2 years, playing alongside Kyle Lowry. We all saw it coming that Fred VanVleet was going to be the next court general or to take over for Lowry when he inevitably left or retired. Right? We all expected that to happen, and here it is. And the question is, how's Fred VanVleet going to do in this spot? He's been doubted his entire career, his entire life. Bet on yourself is his mentality, and for these type of moments, people are going to say, he can't do it, he can't fill the shoes. Let's wait and see. Fred VanVleet's always betting on himself, and he's always betting right, so let's see what happens with Fred VanVleet this year. I think he can truly do it. We've seen it enough that I think he really can take over the reins. And I saw it in preseason. One small thing, very small thing that I saw from Fred, when he was on the bench, just sitting there, and then a bad call happens. He's up and yapping the official. He gets teed up, and I'm like, that's my court general right there. So interesting stuff right there. Usually he'd stay quiet and whatnot. If it was Lowry, he'd be yapping a ton. Not saying he has to be Kyle Lowry because Fred VanVleet is his own player, and I want to be the best version of Fred VanVleet as he can. All right? OG Anunoby, we're all kind of buzzing. We all think something crazy is going to be happening with the young OG this year. We saw it in the second half of last year. We saw it in the preseason, and we're like, oh my God, is this OG on the offensive side of the ball? Because you know what you're getting defensively. And if offensively OG is now this player, oh my goodness, look out. And averaging 28 game with this type of defense, my goodness, look out. I mean, and he's been taking shots in preseason he has no business of making, and he's knocking these down. He's just grabbing the ball. He's like, I'm making this bucket. If you're in my way, good luck. And that's what's happening. Now, it is preseason basketball, so we're all going to wait and see if it transfers into the regular season, but we're all jacked up. The young OG about to take that next step in his development, because he's still not a very old player. Pretty crazy to even think that about OG Anunoby. Let's talk about the new guys. We got Goran Dragic, Precious Achiuwa, Scottie Barnes, Gary Trent Jr., and Svi Mykhailiuk. Yes, Gary Trent was here last year, but he's here for half a season, was injured for a bit, and then came off the bench to end the season. So we really haven't seen much of him. But a full 82 games with Gary Trent Jr. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But let's start with Goran Dragic. Obviously came over in the Miami Heat. What the heck is that? Miami Heat deal for Kyle Lowry. He'll be backing up Fred VanVleet majority of the season. And that's a pretty damn good 1-2 punch if you ask me. I like what I see there. Precious Achiuwa, the other piece that came back in the trade with Miami, and he never really got the opportunity in Miami, and he comes to Toronto getting the opportunity, and we saw it in preseason what this guy can do. Tenacious defender. And in the paint offensively, he's got a pretty good game. So we'll wait and see what Precious Achiuwa has in store for us. Obviously, with guys like Chris Boucher out of the lineup to start the season, and Kem Birch, had COVID-related stuff to start the preseason, so he didn't really get a whole lot of action. Don't be surprised if Precious Achiuwa is your starter game one. And he was dynamite in the preseason, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch his development this year. Scottie Barnes, speaking of development, can't flippin' wait to watch this kid grow this season. You know what you got defensively. You know his vision and passing abilities is freakish. Question is, what can he do offensively? What can he do shooting the basketball? In the paint, perimeter, mid-range, whatever the case may be. What can Scottie Barnes bring you? And is it going to be a developmental thing over the course of this year? Is he going to get better and better and better as time goes along? Or is it going to be like he's this year, offseason work, he'll be this year, the next year. So it's going to be very interesting to see the development of Scottie Barnes this year. Gary Trent Jr., we already talked about it. He is a very big volume shooter. Reminds me a lot of Norman Powell, a few years back, in the sense that he takes a lot of rough shots, that contested shots, makes some of them, which is great, but when you're going like 2 of 13, it's like, buddy, like the 2 contested shots are not, they were probably great shots, but shouldn't be taking them. When you're getting the wide open shots, I saw in the preseason a few times where he fakes the 3, guy goes flying by, steps into the 2, makes an easy jumper. And I'm like, that's the stuff you like to see. None of these contested layups with 3 guys all over you. None of that nonsense. So for Gary Trent Jr., he's got to find that middle ground. Svi Mykhailiuk had a fantastic preseason. We've heard nothing but good things about him. So he's going to be a very good bench piece for this team. Obviously, a Matt Thomas 2.0, but better. So we'll have to see what Svi Mykhailiuk has in store for us this season. All right? Let's do a little bit of a record prediction before I wrap this baby up. I truly believe this team can be 10 games over 500 this season. And people are going to be like, well, they don't have a superstar. I understand that. They don't. But with guys like Pascal Siakam coming back and Chris Boucher coming back, Pascal Siakam ended the year so strong last year, and he's back in Toronto with the fans where he clearly didn't feel at home in Tampa. He didn't feel at home in the bubble. He was not the same person. So he'll come back to the hometown. Chris Boucher, we all know what's going to happen there. And the development of guys like OG and Fred and all this stuff. Why can't this team be 10 games over 500? Just why can't they? That's my take. I could be just a homer. It might be. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and your record predictions in the comments below, right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and are jacked up for Raptor basketball starting tomorrow, smack the like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below thoughts on the video. Thoughts on the upcoming season, all right? Twitter's down below for myself. Follow, send me a DM, do that great stuff, guys. The Instagram link is down below as well, so follow up there if you have not done so already. And I'll talk to you guys Leaf Station tomorrow as they take Friday. They take on the San Jose Sharks at Scotiabank Arena. It's a 6 p.m. puck drop for some reason. The Raptors, they take on the Washington Wizards in Game 1 of 82. I can't wait. I know you guys are absolutely jacked up. Tomorrow, 7:30, Scotiabank Arena, Raptors, Wizards. All right, so you know what, guys? Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.